Lord knows how long, and I was live on Instagram earlier, and I don't really do that either. Um, so that feels new. I mean, it's old. It feels old, is what it is. Um, but hope y'all are doing well. I'm just popping in to share some stuff with y'all. And whoa, all of a sudden the chat's blowing up. On the top, it's telling me that 4 people are watching. Um, but wow, there's a oh now it's 446. That's a lot more than 4. Um, all right, now it's hopping up to like 500. That's hi. I don't have anything that interesting to share. Um, but so all 534 of you, you can like go back to bed or whatever you were doing. I'm sorry, all 818 of you can. I never know what to do, how to start these. Anyway, hi, just wanted to pop in and first things first, just thank you all so much for the crazy awesome response that this year's annual holiday sale has gotten on the Willwood web store. It's super cool to be getting all that support, and I want to let you know that we've been able to raise thousands of dollars for the Brain and Behavior Research Foundation already, which is fantastic. Over the past couple of holiday sales, we've been able to raise like tens and tens of thousands of dollars for the BBRF, and that's super cool. So I want to thank you all both for the support for my art and the support for that cause. For those of you who don't know, the BBRF is the Brain and Behavior Research Foundation, formerly NARSAD, that since the 1980s has raised about $500 million for mental health research. What they do is they provide research grants to scientists looking to further our understanding and treatment options for mental and neurological health disorders. And they have a 100% score on Charity Navigator. Excuse me, there's a cat. Dr. Junior. He's all right. But they've got 100% score, 4 to 4 stars on Charity Navigator. They're really great. They do amazing work. And I gave a chunk of my merch sales online to them, even outside of the holiday season. But the holiday season is always when it goes the craziest. For those of you who aren't aware, I've got a holiday sale going on at www.willwoodwebstore.com. I know what you're thinking. Why'd you say the www? What year is it? And first question, the answer is because for whatever reason, I can't get to the site without typing the www at the beginning. I don't know what I broke in the process, but whatever, that's that. You can also go to the usual link. There's a link in the description. But we got a sale going on. Everything's 30% off. There's a bunch of new designs. Some old designs are having kind of their last hurrah. And there's some new stuff that we put up by popular demand. So you can check that out. That just launched on Wednesday. But since it's Black Friday, I feel like I should like poke at people and let them know and remind them because everybody's shopping right now anyway. And the Instagram algorithm is throttling my reach because I don't have comments on. So anyway, I wanted to tell you about that, and I also wanted to share some of the art that went into some of the new designs, because we got posters, t-shirts, hoodies, and pins, and phone cases, and a whole bunch of stuff on there. And I do all of the art for my merch myself, whether it's at shows or the web store, with the occasional exception here and there. But in case y'all have seen some of the art and are at all curious about some of the process behind it, I figured I would show you some of the doodles that went into it, because really I just doodle. Okay. I'm going to introduce you to a cast of characters that you can see in a design that I have posters for that I think I call it the Salesman. And it's because these are inspired by real people. No, I shouldn't say that. These are not inspired by real people. These are entirely fictional characters. my wife and I attended a timeshare sales presentation in Branson, Missouri back in 23, 24, or what year is it right now? And we met some really fun characters. I talk about a lot in my show Slouching Towards Branson, which is a movie that is kind of like a stand-up special, kind of like a concert film that's on my Patreon. You don't have to be a member to watch it. You can just buy it there. But yeah, I talk about a lot on there. But I wanted to share my drawing of Cliff. This is Cliff. He is an elderly man in a very tight button-down who they brought him out, I think, first and foremost to remind us of our mortality. I think to instill within us a sense of urgency that would encourage us to make poor financial decisions. This is Dallin. I judged him to be about 7 years old when I met him. Dallin was an interesting character because, like, I really got the sense that he was like a nice guy who for whom working at a timeshare sales place, like it was a between gig that he didn't like he wasn't a con man to be. He didn't seem like that kind of, I don't know. He seemed like a good soul, and so his name wasn't actually Dallin in real life. I don't like the way the original drawing for Dennis turned out, but this is Dennis. You'd like Dennis. He's Irish, and at least I think he is. You know, honestly, our experience at the sales presentation with Dennis, who was a terrifying, tiny, enormous man, had us at the end kind of thinking that there's a very good chance that this burly, kind of frightening guy with his fucking muscles and everything was not actually who he pretended to be. I don't know. I feel like there's a good chance that it gets boring working at a vacation club sales place, and you're all kind of doing some evil together anyway. So I can imagine that a lot of people put on fake names or have a little fun with some of their customers, victims. And I couldn't help but imagine that this guy was actually standing out back after his shift, smoking a cigarette, being like, yeah, I mean, like, Branson's not really for somebody like me, but there's a lot of good theater opportunities, so I figured I would move here. When, like, what we experienced was not that. I think that they're actors, honestly. This guy, that right there is not a map. That's a flow chart that he drew on the back of a brochure in Sharpie when he was doing his sort of try it before you buy it final scheme before you were leaving. I never got his name. I just know he was frightening and seemed supremely hungover. So yeah, those are the salesmen from one of the largest publicly traded hoteliers on the planet, whose name I won't share. This one's also based on Slouching Towards Branson. There's a scene in that story where, well, I don't want to spoil too much, but a liar's pants must burn. And oh, I should explain. I said something about the original drawing. What I do, part of my process is I draw something in pencil, or I draw something in Sharpie or paint pen or marker or gel pen or some combination, and I scan it into my computer, and from there I use a combination of Photoshop and Illustrator to kind of smooth out the edges or make changes to it, which is why I will have a drawing that I'm like, this is not good, but still be able to put it into my computer and like mess with it from there until it looks the way I want it to look. It's a big part of my process. Here's another example of that. This is a knight. You'll notice he looks kind of different in the finished art that is on the web store. One, because I did some coloring, and two, because I altered some of the shapes and stuff. But his name's Kyle. This is also a reference to Slouching Towards Branson with the quote, "If we're lucky, we'll live long enough to see more dark ages." Kyle is currently talking to a lady on his telephone who's saying Deus Vult Daddy, and he's reminding himself to count the fingers because he wants to know whether or not that's a real lady. Yeah, anyway, that's Kyle. This one's also a Slouching Towards Branson one. This got out of hand. This is a crayon drawing. I did draw this with crayon, and so yeah, that's the God King of the Cosmos saying, "I think not, boy, take him away." This is right here. That's a billboard for a family-friendly hypnotist. This is a wax museum. We've got Hunter Thompson leaving Branson. Here's abandoned trailers. The Fudge Frog. And here are the Visigoths sticking around for the soupy cheese pizza buffet. We've got the Lazarus Theater advertising that Saturday at 2 p.m. they've got an a cappella tribute to Jimi Hendrix. We've got the Vacation Club, the 80s Throwback Music Festival, the Arcade, Biblical Times Dinner Theater, the Cultural Graveyard. There's a sign that says "Will Call" over the dumpster, which I gave myself a kick with that. There's some ghosts. Yakov Smirnoff's Theater. Daily Wire, I figured I'd just throw in there as well. So yeah, those are all just visual depictions of jokes from Slouching Towards Branson. It's not all Slouching Towards Branson themed stuff. It's a lot of it is, but yeah. And this one is my favorite one that I did. The cleaned up, digitized version looks very different, I think, as far as I can tell. But this is an advertisement for the Fudge Frog. This is his logo. The Fudge Frog is a frog of indeterminate age hunched over an array of fudges, sweating into the rocky road. He is a man for whom the world as he understood it no longer exists. And he's got a joke for you. He'll clock you. The Fudge Frog will clock you. Yeah, and he's got his humiliating little paper hat that says King of the Cucks on it. He's got his name tag that says Will Wood, because I'm the Fudge Frog. We're all the Fudge Frog sometimes. Someday, we all end up the Fudge Frog. The world changes. And if you're not careful, if you don't learn to stop biting off your own foot, you end up being the Fudge Frog. So that's the Fudge Frog. Okay, I think that's all of the Slouching Towards Branson related ones. I just personally really liked doing that stuff. You know, I don't tend to decide what I sell on my merch store. I don't tend to decide that based on what I think is going to sell. I do it based on like what I think would be fun to draw, what I'm just drawing just because I'm having fun. Like for instance, we got these guys. Yeah, I'm not like good at drawing. These are doodles, but these are my friends. They're not my friends. They're not your friends either. Do not trust these men. I call him Rocco's Hydra, which is like a Rocco's Basilisk thing. And I don't know who these people are, except that one's definitely Mark Zuckerberg, but otherwise I don't know who the rest of them are. I guess they're all Peter Thiel on some level. So yeah, there's a freaky digital art version of that's on a poster on my web store right now. You've just clicked like I think there's the listing's called like WW Art Posters or something like that. It's in the new one. It's on the front page. You can look through it and you can see all the different options. You don't need to see this, but this is what I use to make the background of the web store. There's nothing to show off here. These are literally just squiggles, but anyway, that's where that comes from. This one I ended up fucking around with and ended up calling it Outsider Yanked Inside. And these are my little guys. I like my little guys. They're friends of mine. These skeletons may or may not be fucking. Really depends on your perspective. Art is subjective, you know? It's all open to interpretation. So that's that guy. this one was kind of, this is like a stream of consciousness thing. So there's no like pencil underline like with the more cartoony ones. Like this one is one of the more cartoon ones where I did a pencil outline first, and then over the pencil I did a gel pen or paint pen, and then I took that, scanned it, and then brought it into Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop to do the rest. And yeah. And I got one more other one. This is a thing that I've been really enjoying recently, which is using black construction paper and then using a combination of Posca and Sharpie paint pens. It really, I think, I don't know, I did that, I used this same method for the Halloween t-shirts that we sold at the last couple shows, as well as the Mr. Wood is Dead anniversary tour t-shirt. And so now that's on t-shirts and hoodies and posters. You'll see it's like a lot more rough looking than what you would get on one of the shirts or the posters, because they've been, what's the word I'm looking for? Vectorized? Is that the word? Digital stuff. So yeah. So those are, I think those are all of the new designs that are currently available that were just released on Wednesday alongside the holiday sale code. There might be one or two others that I'm blanking on or that I didn't find the original copy of when I dug around. I don't know for sure. But yeah, those are my doodles. And so in addition to there being some t-shirts and some hoodies and some posters with those, I also, after many people making the request over a long period of time, I've got like little flare pin packs as well, as well as the new phone cases, because for a long time we were getting emails being like, hey, you've got old phone cases, but my phone is recent. And so we finally fixed that up as well. And so, yeah, t-shirts, hoodies between small and 5X, depending on the design, and posters that are either like 18 inches by 18 inches or 16 inches by 20. Double check that last one, though. I don't know if it's actually that big. Yeah, all that stuff. And it's currently 30% off if you use the code HOLYDAYS25, which is currently in the description of this video. You go to www, you actually do have to type in the W's, I swear. It's not just because I think it's funny that Will Wood Web Store is also www, I promise. It's not just that I want, it's actually because when I set up the website, I fucked something up. So www.willwoodwebstore.com. A bunch of different options, new options. Some old favorites are leaving soon, so I've got those up. Those are for a slightly discounted price compared to the rest. The rest of them, they're all exclusive designs to the web store, but are still a little bit cheaper than what you would get at a show. Our provider recommends that if you are at all concerned about something arriving in time for the holidays, they recommend ordering by December 11th at the latest, because we're not Amazon. You know, shipping time can take a bit longer for independent producers and all that. So, yeah. And a portion of the proceeds is going to the Brain and Behavior Research Foundation. And the sale is going to be continuing probably until New Year's. So you can still order things after December 11th. We would just recommend that you do order things before then. However, if you're at all concerned, or you do order something after the 11th, or you order something close to the 11th and you're a little worried about it, we also have like this system where you can like print out like a handwritten note from me on the website, and then you can put that in a cute little card and give it to the person with bad taste who you're giving the Will Wood stuff to. And the hope is that that helps smooth it over in case we fuck it up. We've also got gift vouchers if you don't want to worry about that at all. And the gift vouchers give you like a 10% bonus. So if like you bought a $50 gift voucher, it'd be worth $55 on the store. That being said, they work a little weird. They're not like gift cards. You do have to double check that. You do have to just look at how it works, because our system wouldn't allow us to create literal gift cards. So the gift voucher works almost like a big discount code that doesn't like hold a balance, and it can't buy something of greater or of less value than it's on. You can't like zero out at it. You can't get something for free with it. I know that sucks, but I figured it was better than no gift card at all because our system couldn't do a gift card. And yeah, that's that. The code is Holy Days 25. Days is not like days like night and day, but days like if you got bonked in the head. Uh, it's like we've been doing an annual holiday sale on my merch store since like 2015, 2016. And back when we first set it up, there was like a heavy "we are not a cult" psychedelic spirituality vibe to the whole thing we were doing. And so that's just still going on. So the Holy Days thing kind of stuck around. So we got Holy Days 25 as the code. It'll get you 30% off anything. And yeah, there you go. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks again for all the support. The response to the sale has been super exciting and means a lot. And it looks like we're going to be raising a lot of money for the BBRF with this and funding my next project, which I will not tell you more about for a long time. All right, folks, y'all take care. Have a very happy whatever, and I will see you around.